I am Chef Collette, representing the beautiful twin islands of Antigua and Barbuda, and I am from the lovely village, Bolans. As a part of the Caribbean Vibrations Christmas dinner, I'll be doing something with a little twist this year. I'll be preparing the Antiguan and Barbudan traditional Christmas breakfast. The Antigua and Barbuda traditional Christmas breakfast consists of saltfish, chop up, plantains, cucumbers, tomatoes, slices of ham, avocado and boiled eggs, along with some delicious homemade bread. I'll also be making Antiguan Bread Pudding with rum cream. After that, we're gonna wash it down with a glass of sorrel, some homemade ginger beer, or a warm cup of Christmas bush tea. Okay, let's get started. We're starting off with the traditional bread pudding. We have some bread cut up in pieces. For the dry ingredients, we have some flour. We have some nutmeg and cinnamon. We have some pecans. We have some shredded coconuts. We have some raisins and some brown sugar and white sugar. Now for the wet ingredients, we have some vanilla extract. We have some eggs. We have some melted butter. We have some condensed milk. We have some regular milk. We have some glazed coconut milk, and that's the twist to our bread pudding today. And some water. First, we add in some melted butter. Then, some brown sugar and white sugar. We're gonna mix this together. We're mixing. Yeah. And then, we'll be adding some eggs. We're gonna incorporate everything together. We will add some cinnamon and nutmeg, 1 tablespoon each. When I was small, like my grandmother used to make bread pudding all the time, and then after she got old, she stopped. And then there was this shop in the village of Bolans, Aaron's Bakery. They used to sell bread pudding every day, hot. I used to kill it for them. Yeah, but then I'll be adding all my liquids. So I'll be adding the coconut milk, some regular milk, my condensed milk, and a little bit of water. Also my vanilla. And I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. The salt and the sugar give you the right taste. Like without the salt, it's fresh. Don't really have any. Okay, we're gonna add all the other condiments. So we're gonna add some raisins, some pecans, and some coconut, shredded coconut. I'm gonna mix all this together. Everyone don't put flour. I put a little flour most times to bind it together because sometimes the bread alone doesn't always hold it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of flour. This consistency is perfect. We don't want it too thick because the bread is flour. So if it's thicker than that, the pudding is gonna be very clumpy. We don't need that. I'm gonna pour it in now. And then I'm gonna put my hands, get my hands into it. So we're gonna pour it all over. And we have to make sure all the bread is wet. So we're gonna mix everything up Like a lot of people soak their bread like maybe the night before and stuff like that. I don't like it like that. I think you get a better bread pudding when you do it like this. You make it and just pour it over. You see all the bread, all the pieces have to be wet. When you lift it up, you kind of mash it together. So you don't really get the big pieces like what you start off with. It's supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to be too liquidy, not too thick. It's supposed to be like this. Then we're gonna put it in our baking dish. So we're gonna put some in the low. We're gonna bake it now for 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown. Or you can even test it by putting a sharp object in the middle. If it comes out clean, then your pudding is ready. To accompany the bread pudding, we'll be making some rum cream. First, I have on the stove some melted butter. Then we're gonna add the famous Antigua English Harbour 5-year-old. We also have some white rum, some water, salt, white and brown sugar, some condensed milk, and some heavy cream. We're gonna put the stove on medium. Brown and white sugar. Gonna add all the liquids now. The rum. We're gonna mix all this together. Okay, this is the condensed milk. And in that. And the salt. Okay, we're gonna stir this till everything is combined. The sugar, the salt is dissolved because I'm not feeling it in the bottom. So we can cover it and leave it on low heat for about 5 minutes.
This segment is brought to you by visit AntiguaBarbuda.com, where the beach is just the beginning.
One thing for certain, two things for sure. There ain't no breakfast in Antigua without bread, because bread is our go-to. Whether we buy it or we make it ourselves. Today, I'll be baking some bread. The ingredients that I used in this bread: 6 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of yeast, 1 tablespoon of vegetable shortening, 2 tablespoons of butter. I use salted butter. 1 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of sugar, white sugar, warm water. We have to use warm water so that the yeast, if we don't use warm water, the yeast will not rise, and we need that. After we mix everything together, knead it up, we leave it to rise, the dough to rise, for about half an hour. After it's risen, you're gonna get a clean surface, or you get a mat like what I have here, baking mat. You dust a little flour on it, you roll over your dough again. You can let it rise again. I don't let it rise twice. I form my bread and then leave it to rise for the second time. Antiguans have a way of shaping their bread. Our bread is like, we have a titi, a thing we call titi, and bread plat. So I'll be showing you how we come about those. I'm gonna make one big bread today. So I'm gonna use this for the bread plat. So I'm gonna fold it. Okay, I'm gonna fold it like that. Then this is the twist now. This is the titi, because Antiguans love titi. So I'm gonna roll it. You see? Then I'm gonna roll here again. Okay. So then I'm gonna flatten here so the middle gets a little big. I'm gonna do a plat, a 3-way plat, bread plat. So I'm gonna twist all three of them. And you have to brush a little water on it so the plait can stick. So I'm gonna braid it like I'm braiding here. Okay, and we're gonna stick one end here and then the next end. So all we need is just some water. We don't need any eggs or anything. Just some water, and then we wash it again with a little water. It's to bake for 30 minutes or until if you want it browner, you leave it longer. If not, 30 minutes is good.
This segment is brought to you by Grace Foods Canada. To get the best in Caribbean food, visit gracefoods.ca.
We will be preparing the famous Antiguan chop up. The ingredients are eggplant, aka choba, spinach, pumpkin, and okra. We have our boiling water with a dash of salt or a pinch of salt. So we're gonna add everything now. Pumpkin, the eggplant, the spinach, and the okra. So everything is down in the water. We're gonna let this boil for about 20 to 25 minutes until everything is softly cooked. Our next dish is the famous Antiguan saltfish, and we all know all saltfish to eat. So saltfish have to be a part of the Christmas breakfast. This now is the original saltfish before it's boiled, but before it's cleaned, because I cleaned it. Take off the skin. We have to take off the skin. Like, the skin is thick, but we take off the skin, debone it. So we remove all the bones and we strip it, and voila, we get this. After the saltfish is stripped and clean, this is what it looks like. The ingredients in a saltfish: red, green, yellow, and orange peppers. We have some onions, scallion. We have the garlic, the thyme. We have some tomato paste and some tomato sauce. We're gonna saute our ingredients. Do you smell it? The aroma is to die for. You. Okay, we're gonna let this simmer for a little bit. Now we're gonna add some tomato paste. Also some tomato sauce. And then we're gonna let it simmer for 1 to 2 minutes. All right. We'll be adding the saltfish. Okay. And we're gonna stir it, making sure all the saltfish is covered in the sauce. And we're gonna sprinkle a little black pepper. We have to let it boil in first to see if it needs salt, or if it's salt, it have the flavor of the saltfish. Okay, we're gonna cover this for about 5 minutes. Let it simmer it. We're now going to prepare our Christmas ham, which I boiled for an hour. We're going to make a glaze. We have some pineapple juice, some honey, some mustard, a little brown sugar. We're going to then stick some cloves for flavor and top it off with some pineapple slices. After that, we're going to cover it up, put it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. We're going to add our pineapple juice to a hot pot. Then we'll be adding our brown sugar. Okay, the brown sugar is now dissolved. We're going to add some honey. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just using my judgment. Old people style. Then we're gonna add our mustard. We're gonna mix everything together. Then we're gonna bring it to a boil so that we could get the glaze texture. Okay, we're gonna be glazing our ham now. Shit, this is messy. Glazed it between the crevices. This ham, by the looks and the smell, yummy. This is gonna top off your Christmas breakfast. I wonder if anybody else is smelling it. Gosh, ooh. Scrumptious. So we're gonna put some pineapple slices all over our ham. Then we're gonna stick some cloves between the pineapple. I'm not gonna put too many cloves because I don't want the clove to overpower the taste. I want the ham, the flavor of the ham, to be ham, not cloves. So we don't put too many cloves. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit more glaze over the pineapple and the cloves. Our ham is ready to go in the oven. 20 minutes covered, 30 minutes uncovered. Okay, we'll be frying some ripe plantains. And ladies, when you're frying plantains, you gotta keep your eyes on them because they're like men. Turn your eyes off and you get bun. But keep your eyes on your plantains. Okay. Ripe plantains are actually one of my favorites because it adds flavor to any meal. Okay. The color of the plantain actually reminds me of the sun in our flag. Yellow, golden yellow. These are the colors that you need. You don't want your plantains to be burned because remember what I said in the beginning, keep your eyes on them. They're like men. So this is the color that you want, golden brown. So this batch is finished, and then we're gonna put in the next batch.
Sunshine glowing on a turquoise sea. I'm swaying just for you and me. Island rhythm never leaves a trace, but it's tattooed on my soul's embrace. White sand stretch where the heart runs free. Laughter echoes on the island breeze. Steel drums playing on the moonlit trees. Moving easy, living island fantasy. Antigua's calling, so wild and free.
The festive feasting doesn't have to stop if you're short on time. Try Grace's new bag and cook. Comes in mild and hot Jamaican jerk and Caribbean curry. First, bag your meat, add the seasoning, seal the bag, spread the seasoning, and bake. Grace keeps the festive feasting going.
Our bread is now ready. All we need now is some butter and cheese and pork sausage. Okay. So breakfast is ready. It's time to dig in.
And now, my favorite part of the Caribbean Christmas breakfast. Chef Collette, what I got on my plate?
On your plate, Alan, you have saltfish, chop up, plantains, avocado, tomato, cucumber, boiled eggs, ham, and some homemade bread.
I love homemade bread. And speaking of bread, what is that bread here?
Oh, that's bread pudding with some rum cream. And the rum cream having the Antigua English Harbor 5-year-old.
A real good rum, real good rum. I know, so we got a couple other drinks. Sorrow.
Yeah.
Now, is Antigua sorrow the best sorrow?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I like this. Well, you know what I gotta do now? Best part of the job, I get to eat. You're gonna join me though, right?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
can't be rude.
Enjoy.
All right, let's dig in. Can you pass me the pepper sauce, please?
Oh, sure.
Nice, nice. Let's get into it.
Okay. I will try some myself.
I didn't expect the texture like that. That is so smooth. Because usually with okra, it's like, nah, this is good. This is real good.
I'm happy you're enjoying it.
Compliment to the chef.
Thank you. How's the bread?
Soft. Tasty bread. Real good sorrel too. Very good. Tony, Antigua nice.
Nice. Sweet like paradise.
There you go.
Thanks for watching Caribbean Vibrations. Follow us on social media at CaribVibeTV or visit our website, CaribbeanVibrationsTV.com. I'm your host and guide, Alan, and we'll see you next time on Caribbean Vibrations.